Hey, yo, what's going on, you guys? Got a brand new deck guide for you guys today. And I got a deck that honestly took me by surprise. I saw this on Untapped. I saw that Jeff also has made a video on this deck a couple weeks ago. But this deck's honestly no joke. I think there's a lot of really cool pieces that you have in this list to have a different array to get power across the board. A bunch of different moving pieces for your Hydra Stomper, for your Craven. A lot of just potential just like tempo pieces to have like priority to play Cosmo into lanes to offset what your opponent's trying to do. Also, which I really like here, big power to slam down at the end with a Galactus for steps. And there's just so many ebbs and flows that you can just do with this list that I really enjoy. Of course, it's kind of just like a small ball shell of like the move you probably have seen when it comes to like Hydra Stomper things. But you have Viv Vision in here, which Viv Vision, of course, moves at the beginning of the turn. So if you do have Batroc on the board, Viv Vision moving makes Batroc do its move at the beginning of the turn, opposed to you being able to kind of like mitigate that move more. So just kind of keep that in mind with the Viv Vision here. But having your opponents have to like fight for those lanes, while also at the same time having a Galactus on the a Galactus Herald on the board, your opponents have to kind of like fight for to make sure your Galactus doesn't also gain power, is something really neat, and I really enjoy with this list. I've always been like more of a fan of Hydra Stomper too, and it's cool to see like instead of just like the regular kind of like move shell you've seen with like that Chamo plays. You know, Chamo plays are really awesome. Hydra Stomper shell. This is a little bit different. It's more of a lockdown ish because you do have Professor X, and Professor X actually. There's a lot of Doom 2099 right now, and there's a lot of still like Scarlet Spider, show loud things. There's also like Zola, Star-Lord things happening. So having Professor X, your opponents can't play cards there, and like the cards that are trying to generate with like a Zola or even like something like a Animatum Infusion or like a Phoenix Force, and stuff. Those things I believe don't really happen. So it's something that's really cool, at least with like Elixir and Animatum Infusion for sure. Phoenix Force, I haven't really played myself personally. You guys know I play a lot of Phoenix Force, but like a Professor X into like that Phoenix Force like kind of style. Like I wasn't playing Phoenix Force in that old Professor X meta, so it's interesting to kind of see how that works. Of course, skills can still be played into Professor X lanes, and you can move cards, and that's something that's great. You have a bunch of different moving pieces that you can personally move into Professor X lanes to be able to kind of win those lanes. Let's say your opponent does play cards into those Professor X lanes. So that's something I do actually like with this kind of style list in that in general as well. But a lots of different just moving pieces that you can kind of, mess around with. You can have Rocket and Karut to be able to also help you potentially get some of that like priority, as well as stealing power from your opponents. Well, meaning it gains power and your opponent loses power is something I really like. It's another moving card for you. Sam Wilson is still just incredible. But Cosmo, I think, is one of the key cards in this list that has actually helped me win a lot of these different games, is Cosmo being able to block off a lot of the big on reveals that people are doing at the moment, is something that's no joke right now. And then Stomper scales. Like, you have so many different moving pieces in this to allow your Stomper to really grow in value. And, like I said, your opponent has to fight for a Viv lane, has to fight for a Herald lane. So being able to have added power to your cards in hand, while also your Galactus maybe gains power on a different lane if they're contesting one or the other, is something that I've really enjoyed with this deck itself. We're going to jump right into some live gameplay where I do talk through my plays so you guys can kind of like see in motion kind of, what's happening in my general thought process with this deck. But if you guys enjoy the video, definitely feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Appreciate all the love and support once again. We're back to doing almost daily content, which feels great, and the love and support really helps me feel extra motivated. So I appreciate you guys for helping me with that motivation. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right. So we do start off with Viv, Silk, and Hydra Stomper here. The cool thing, I guess kind of cool thing is like Silk is a big body. It's just going to be interesting kind of like mess around with what opponent kind of plays here is kind of more so. My thought process, we don't have Batroc. We do start with Hydra Stomper though. And having Galactus is pretty neat. I think we're just going to go Silk. We'll go Silk into Viv. And we also have Professor X. Okay. They kid Omega. I go Silk. Get the power on Galactus. I then go... I'm going to go Viv. Ooh, the thing is, I could do Stomper Batroc. I think we just go Viv here. We go Viv, we move Silk, so Galactus continues to proc over and over. All right. They go Wild Child. That moves Silk there. Wow, actually, that's a great place there. Okay. I'm going to go... If I go Stomper into Batroc. Batroc is going to go away, but I could get Craven. I can get Rocket and Groot. I do have Cosmo. Go Hydra Stomper. So, Batroc's not going to move. We get Rocket and Groot. And Silk moves. Cool. They Kid Omega Marrow. That kind of hurts. Silk moves left. And then they go Fastball on Kid Omega, which hits Viv. All right. That's not horrible. And we get the Wild Child proc. I'm going to snap this probably. I'm going to snap into Cosmo and throwing the Wild Child. Let's actually, we're going to snap into Wild Child left into Cosmo. Just in case we do get the Silk. Oh, and we get Batroc move. All right, cool. Nothing can move there. Cosmo now goes. Move Silk back. Into Rogue, which hits nothing. And Blade. It's Prodigy. They don't have Phantom X on the board, which is also really good to start here. They get Omega Sentinel. Okay. That is fine. Batroc does move. We get this Knight now with the Rocket and Groot. We are full middle. We get the Viv to go off again. And then I can move Rocket and Groot right. Which would move the Batroc. So I don't know if I actually want to do that. And then if I Galactus right. I think it is just Galactus right. And it's going to boil down to if they play something middle. They could Shadow King. And Omega Sentinel is always going to hit Galactus here. So I just play Galactus out and they're gone. Yeah. The Rogue getting blocked by Cosmo was actually really huge for us there. So we'll take that. All right, we have Bob. We got Stomper, Professor X. They get my Professor X, so they know we have it. I get their Iska. I'm going to go Bob left. If this is end of turn, our goal is just to shut it down. Shut down end of turn things. I go probably Rocket and Groot middle. Mysterio. Okay, so they're going to get the card. So I don't have the prio I necessarily would want there. We do get Aunt May's. I think I'm going to move Viv. They're going to end up playing Iska onto Aunt May's probably. They Storm. Okay. I get Viv and the move. I go Rocket and Groot here now. So I get the draw. They aren't drawing anything. The Iska left. Okay. All right. I can go Professor X. Middle. Lockdown middle. Or let me if I Professor X right, I can move Rocket and Groot right. Bob is going to move here as well. This is interesting. This is very interesting. I think it is a snap, though. To snap into Professor X right, their Professor X would move. It's kind of limiting locations for them is my thought process, and with what they're playing here, they could do War Machine things. They White Widow moves into Luke Cage. Bob moves. And then they've only played one card. So I will go... I'm going to go Rocket and Groot here into Batroc, Silk, or let me do I want Batroc to move? I'm going to go Cosmo, Hydra Stomper, actually. Yeah, Cosmo, Hydra Stomper, and this should just be game here. Yeah. Yeah. That'll work. Cosmo is just so good right now. So good. Sweet. All right, we do start with Kang the Conqueror. We do have Nightcrawler. We have Sam Wilson. We have Silk. Pretty good starting hand for us here. Kang does make this interesting because, you know, that's 4 cards we both kind of maybe don't know the abilities for, right? Go Sam Wilson, Monster Island. We have Silk. We have Bob. I think we're going to go Sam left here. They float. Okay. Into miniaturized labs. Okay, these locations are pretty whack for what we want to do. Pretty whack. All right. We're getting Stomper down because we can't do Silk into a lot of the stuff. Kang. Kang is Shuri. Okay. Into Rama Tut. Here we go. Moon Knight hits my Silk, hits their Hulkling. Valentina. And Polaris. We don't also find out what Hulkling was. Do I just... I mean, I could just snap into this location being locked down. But I don't have any other pieces to mess around with is my issue. So I can't necessarily snap this. But I could snap it to only Kang Ramatut. Like, that also is pretty good. You know what? I think we are going to snap this, actually. We're in a really solid spot. So I actually don't hate this for us. I don't hate this for us. They Red Guardian hits Professor X. Good. The good thing is that does not hit Hydra Stomper. So Hydra Stomper kind of just took a bullet there, which is cool. So I will go move Shield over. Rocket and Groot here. Move Nightcrawler over into Batroc, Hydra Bob, and Cosmo. Or Stomper's going to have a lot of great power. So I think we can actually do That's that. This and that. That seems pretty decent for us. I think the Cosmo left is the biggest thing here to help win the game. Kang, Gambit. Oh my gosh. Gambit's scary. Hits the shield, hits Cosmo, and it hits the Hydra Bob. Okay. Not half bad. What was this Kang? Oh, this Kang was the Zombie Scarlet Witch. Gotcha. Okay, we got Stomper, we got Silk, we have Craven. Great Portal gives us a Heimdall, maybe? Crossbones? I don't hate Crossbones, actually. I can go Bob, Craven. We go Bob, Craven left. Adam. I'm going to do this. And then I'll get Crossbones. This moves. Rocket and Groot. Okay. All these cards are moving. I get Crossbones down as well. I have a lot of power on the board, which is kind of like my thought process for what we have going on. And also getting Stomper to move, or not Stomper, Bob to move. That moves. Bob moves now. Bob moves to the right as well. They do get Adam. That's fine. I now go Professor X middle. Solidify the middle. The thing. I get Cosmo into Invis. Doombot. That'll go off twice. That's fine. I'm gonna move Batroc out. Is my thought process, and that's just more power to the right there. So Silk moves left onto the Hydra Stomper with Batroc, and we should be good. Doom. Oh, this actually could... Wait, actually, no. Wait, Doom only sends out one Doombot anyways. Only one Doombot comes. Adam goes off twice. Okay. That's fine. Professor X into this matchup especially is just so good. So good. Okay, we got the Batroc. We got the Hydra Stomper. We got Vision. We get Scar. Oh, Scar could be cool. If we move enough cards, we could get Craven pretty big, and we could get Stomper pretty big for some Scar value, which is interesting. I'm going to go Batroc into Viv here. We're literally just setting up to have a lot of power on the left. Surge. I go Viv left, buffs all these cards. Mer Island is good. Ooh. Rocket and Groot is also very solid to start here. I think we're going to go Viv first, though. Let's go Viv. They magic. All right. I'm gonna go Cosmo. I mean, we're not Cosmo just yet. We're gonna go Rocket and Groot left, actually. And then this boils down to some other things I want to mess around with here. Because, like, we're going to have Rocket and Groot. We're going to move Rocket and Groot and probably Professor X left is the general thought process. They Baron Mordo, Ironheart. Okay, we're going to do this. Moves the Batroc middle, and it also does move Hydra Bob. So both those cards are going to move. And then I Professor X here. They Sarah. Batroc moves middle. And then I just go Cosmo and a Hydra Stomper. Or I could go Cosmo, Craven, Nightcrawler, so then I have a bigger Hydra Stomper. Or if I'm literally probably not playing Hydra Stomper, I'll probably just play Scar here. Yeah, we're just in an incredible spot. Okay, we have Hydra Bob, we got the Viv, and we got Stomper. Okay. We got the Bob down. What else can we get here? Asgard Besieged. Okay, I'm going to go Craven middle. And then I'm actually going to go Rocket and Groot here so I can move the card. Is my thought process. We're going to have 16 power middle. There's a world. No, I think it's just this. I mean, they don't have any power on the board. I'm going to have a 16 powered card. Is this snappable? I think it is snappable. Because this will go off and then move. And they have to play, like, big cards middle here. Or they have to magic in order to win this location for them. We had a really, really good starting hand. We're going to get, yeah. Like, we just have to snap that. Because they have to catch up to the Destroyer coming down. Batroc, Craven, Elysium. We're actually, I think we're just going to float here. We could play cards out right now, but I think this is just in case we get, like, Silk things, you know? Adam. All right. Weird World. I get Aurora, $100 Aurora, and Kitty Pryde. And I get Professor X. Let's do this. That. They get Viv. All right, and Batroc's going to move now with Viv. So kind of is a counter to Viv in a sense, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool there for us. I'm going to go Stomper, Craven, Kitty. Okay. The Athena, Sunspot. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough there. If I go Professor X, Kitty, Bob, We still have things to move, which is nice. They can't get into middle necessarily. We go Professor X. I can still move Rocket and Groot middle too. They Mav Invis. I can move this middle. Or I could just go Aurora. Go Kitty. Or go Kitty, Aurora. And then I'll move Rocket and Groot middle. And I still have Galactus things. We end up winning the middle. This is just going to be a matter of, like, Iska things. Or there is a world where I try and well, I'm losing right lane. So I think I actually... Like, right lane's just edge. So I think we are just going to do this. They Maverick, Havoc, and Sam. This is turn 5, right? Wait, what? Okay, so we just win this game? So we lose 5 power. I mean, we gain 1 power. They're snapping me? What? Why are they snapping me? So they're going to go up another 4 power or another 3 power. They go to 25 or 26. Let's say they go to 26, right? I'm losing 5. I move Rocket and Groot over. I have this Galactus down, which is 22, 28, 29. All right, let's do this. I mean, they probably retreat now, but... we'll snap back for 8. What? Okay. I mean, I guess they thought I didn't have enough power to compete left, but we'll take it. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys stuck around the very end, let me know down below, what are you guys playing at the moment? You guys saw I have a discard video from the other day. We also had a Penny Parker video from the other day. I'm enjoying Move right now. You know, I've been like a semi-Move enjoyer with the Phoenix Force stuff, but now I like the small ball kind of styles. Like, you know, I said I like Hydro Stomper and everything. And if there's a deck guide you guys maybe want to see here in the future, let me know if there's something you guys want me to kind of break down, maybe help you guys understand, showcase some gameplay for as well. Because I feel like we're not seeing as many deck guides right now. And I feel like I'm still enjoying doing deck guides. I hope you guys are still enjoying the deck guides. But yeah, just let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Definitely feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, as we are going to have the video for the Storm Horsemen of Famine tomorrow. But yeah, it's been real. God bless, and Tucker out.